So today I got some more updated news, really a lot related to Trump, including his impeachment, what's going on with the Trump website of the White House looks really bad, and more news regarding situation between Trump and Harvard. So first thing first, I want to talk about from literally today, June 24, 2025, 128 Democrats helped Republicans kill a resolution to impeach Trump. So Al Green, believe is a House representative from Texas, tried again to file an impeachment articles of impeachment against Trump. While 128 Democrats uh, joined forces with all the Republicans to completely cut that off. They basically killed the bill before we even start. Very sad situation, but this is expected. We know that when it passed the House, but to have so many Democrats not even trying to show to Trump that, hey, if we ever have power again, we're gonna impeach you, is really sad. And it shows how pathetic the Democrat Party is as a representation of people who voted for them. This is not all Democrats, but 120 Democrats is a huge number to demonstrate that we need to get rid of the corporate Democrats. Corporate Democrats or status quo Democrats are an issue. They're like Republicans at best. Yes, they can be better than people like J.D. Vance, Trump, uh, Greg Abbott, the governor of Texas, or DeSantis, the governor of Florida, and on and on. But those individuals are horrific. There's a lot of standards to compare to. We should have more people like Bernie Sanders, AOC, in power, not a live Republican. Just another Biden situation. Like we want less of that. So that's what I want to mention real quick about this. The House voted 344 to 79 to table Green's resolution on Tuesday. Unfortunately, just hours after he introduced it. It's sad, but they had no backup. So here are the 120 House Democrats who voted to table, kill the Representative Al Green's impeachment resolution against President Trump over the Iran attacks. He tried this again earlier, which was just went nowhere. So these are the Democrats right here. This is a good list, so people can know. Very sad. Definitely will be sharing this also later in shorts so more people can see. But it sucks having so many useless Democrats in power. I still say don't vote Republican at all. Democrats is more like a second choice if we had nothing better. If people just start voting Republican, we could fix some of the issue. But people have to vote in the primary election. That's where you normally get the best options. When people don't take it seriously, you see what happened. I'm hoping that Zoran will win his election for mayor in New York City. Probably not, because people don't even vote during primary election. We look at New Jersey primary government election, and Cheryl won that primary election. There was a split vote between Baraka and uh, Fulop, but still, people could definitely voted way less for Cheryl, who's just a status quo typical Democrat. People just don't take primary election seriously. If you look at the number of people who voted during New Jersey governor race in the primary election of 2025, it was only around 700 something thousand that voted on the Democratic side, only around 470,000 on the Republican side. That's very little. If I'm not mistaken, New Jersey has, I think, around 3 to 4 million registered voters, maybe more than 4 million, and very little actually went out to vote during primary election, even though there was tons of time. So it just demonstrates that people don't take it seriously, and this is another reason why it's important because when you see these Democrats from all the states, whether it's New Jersey or California, Florida, it doesn't really matter. It demonstrates they're all working together to not really deal with Trump. So it's very sad. This will be more something I will share more later. And like I said before, another way. This is just a more official website straight from the house.gov, from the crookhouse.gov website. Also gonna put that in my description. So for people to understand, because this could be confusing, people say for yes, basically yes. That means to tabletop or to cancel out, to say no, or to get rid of the resolution to impeach Trump. The nays is basically saying no, I want to move forward with the resolution to impeach Trump. So I know this can be confusing because some people look at this, oh, how come 344 people voted yes? They didn't vote yes to move forward. They basically voted yes, not move forward. And the nays are people who voted no to continue to move it forward, which was only 79 people, all Democrats, pretty much. And then you're gonna have NV. What is NV? Not voting. So there were three people who just decided not to vote at all for this resolution, which is also a cop out to not vote at all. So just for people to understand that, don't think that yes or yes it means just they're voting yes to move forward. They're not. It's to move to remove the resolution to impeach Trump, and the nays are the people who want to move forward. No, I want to move forward, not to top it, to tabletop, you know, the whole resolution. Can be confusing. A lot of people confuse online in Reddit in particular. I noticed that. So I want to explain that difference so people understand a little bit better. Next, I want to talk about this straight from the White House.gov. Um, it's just really fun. You can see Trump right here. Lab leak, the true origin of COVID-19. So this is an actual official White House.gov website. It looks scammy, like the whole Trump mobile thing and the Trump golden visa. It looks really bad, but this is an official White House COVID-19 information, the true origin. It's really bad. And if you read through this, it's really inaccurate to what scientists have found about COVID-19 vaccine and also what COVID-19 symptoms are like, because that's a virus that is very easily spread from person to person. It's very infectious, so you have to be very careful. Mask and wash your hands is a good way to prevent the spread of COVID-19. So it first thing says the virus possesses a biological characteristic that is not found in nature. First of all, that's untrue. The uh, origin of COVID-19 is pretty well understood where it comes from. There's no biological characteristic of the virus that cannot be found in nature. That's a whole exaggeration that is very in the sci-fi realm of things. But Trump administration wants to create this whole fake idea that this virus must have been created in a Chinese lab. Not really true. So don't fall for that. Data shows that all COVID-19 cases stem from a single introduction to humans. This runs contrary to previous pandemics where there were multiple spillover events. Not necessarily 100% accurate either. Wuhan is home to China's foremost SARS research lab, which has a history of conducting gain of function research, gene altering and organism supercharging at inadequate biosafety levels. Not necessarily true. China has one of the best biologists, microbiologists, and virologists in the world. In general, they have one of the best research scientists as well. So they keep things pretty safe. The problem is, and this has been known, is that a lot of people in China also, a lot of them live in a very farm or old school way of living, and some of them are very willing to eat anything like bats and stuff like that carries COVID-19 virus strands, and that's a good way to spread it. Keep in mind, China has over 2 billion humans. It's extremely hard to control that many humans in one country. It's not like China's made up two countries that can oversee and help each other. It's one country. It's very hard to do that. The population is way bigger than the US, and we are struggling in the US to oversee around 330, 345, maybe eventually 350 million people. Imagine China with 2 billion. So those things can be very hard to oversee. Wuhan Institute of Virology researchers were sick with COVID-19 symptoms in the fall 2019, months before COVID-19 was discovered at the wet market. Keep in mind that Trump already knew about the issue of COVID-19 since at least November to December 2019. He kept quiet. I understand the reasons why they did it. Not saying that's a bad thing. They want to cause panic, but I'm not gonna act like it's just scientists that were getting sick and they were doing lab experiments and things got out of control. It's more complex than what it seems. By nearly all measures of science, if there was evidence of a natural origin, it would have already surfaced, but it hasn't. Again, that's not necessarily true. Keep that in mind. A lot of these things about this website is heavy based on conspiracy theories and not so hardcore on the actual scientific research that's been demonstrated since at least 2020 to now about the what caused COVID-19 dissemination worldwide, right? The spread of COVID-19. So COVID-19 really decimated quickly, and part of the reason, because it's very infectious, it's really easy to spread to person to person. People get sick really quick, sneezing, coughing, not washing hands quick enough, not using masks, spreads really fast. It's more complex than it seems. So be careful with this report. Is heavily done to basically back up Trump's uh, conspiracy theories on China. Again, I wouldn't trust it. Trump is not a trustworthy individual, and anyone in his White House, in his administration or cabinet, are not trustworthy. Next, I want to talk about real quick is from June 20, 2025. This is how this is not a surprising ending, but Trump says Harvard has acted appropriately, and deal could soon be announced. Basically, Trump has been targeting Harvard and other universities pretty heavily, trying to cut funding, to weaken their research status, and uh, possibilities of how many research they can complete throughout the year, because funding is all part of that. Because we already know Harvard is a non-profit university, it's not for profit, just like all the Ivy League universities like Princeton, Columbia, etc. So this is an issue to do that. But unlike the other some other universities who kind of just bend over for Trump, Harvard fought back, which they have some of the best lawyers, if not the best lawyers in the U.S. because that they have amazing law program and many damn good lawyers come out of Harvard University. So it's not surprisingly that many people agree with it, and many rich people provide their own personal wealth. They give it to Harvard. They fund a lot of Harvard's grants and research. So to keep going with the research they do in all types of fields. So a lot of rich people 100% talk to Trump privately, which made him probably to change his mind a bit. Because Harvard is a very business oriented university. The main thing is really the two main things are the law school and the business school. So targeting two sectors, within mainly the private sector, but targeting the two fields with tons of rich people and bare minimum upper class people making high six figures, you're gonna piss off a lot of people who would definitely find ways to convince people not to vote for Trump and all the Republicans. So Trump had to kind of change his mind a bit. That's basically what this article is going to talk about. I just tried to summarize in basic terms why Trump came to this. It was obviously that it's not going to work out in Trump's favor, not against a university like Harvard. Maybe a little university like Florida State University or Montclair State University in New Jersey. Little universities like that, I could see that. But actual Ivy League ones, Princeton, Harvard, Columbia, Brown, etc., too hard for to really properly control for Trump to control completely. Next, I want to talk about this is again about the whole U.S. bombing Iran situation. This is obviously a big deal. From the Arab News website, UN, which is the United Nations, watchdog says no increase in radiation off sites that the U.S. hit. There's no guarantee that what U.S. bombed, the three areas they bombed in Iran, even had any uranium in it. So it's very possible that if they even they did have the huge amount of uranium, which they did as stockpile uranium, they probably removed it months ago. They're not stupid. They probably made it obvious to Trump that hey, this is the area where we're doing something. Doesn't mean that they wouldn't have moved it ahead of time. Iranians are not stupid, especially not the Iranian government. So this was around June 20, 2025, June 20, 2025, around there when they had this article published. So the UN nuclear watchdog says there's no increase in offsite radiation levels, as I spoke earlier. TLAVIV, the International Atomic Energy Agency, and said Sunday that there has been no again increase in offsite radiation levels after the U.S. strikes in those three areas of Iran. Even though Trump liked to act like he did something typical Trump, saying things before really find out the facts. Um, they hate it, but doesn't mean they did anything. So surging travel in Europe spikes and over tourism drawbacks. Different article also discontinued this whole situation. It's because in the European unions have been having complaints. Same thing in Japan about tourism. So, but that's a whole separate little thing. The same article talking about uh, some issue that Europe has, and it's not just Europe. A lot of people also have xenophobia, so it happens a lot. More importantly, we don't know if Trump really did achieve anything. More than likely, achieved nothing. He's gonna claim that he did, and Israel is just happy that Trump did anything because it shows that Trump, kisses Israel's ass. So that's pretty much why they're so happy because they know they can rely on U.S. to support them with anything that happens with Iran. Even though Trump has been recently shown not to be happy about the situation between Israel and Iran, because what he did didn't amount to anything to stop the war that was happening. So this is more transcript of Trump's speech on U.S. strikes on Iran. I just don't keep scrolling down for that. That's basically it for the information about this. There's gonna be more information about it. Be careful what Trump says, and so in true social and all the social media, because he exaggerates and says things without double checking the information beforehand. It's a very Trump thing to do. So just because he did something doesn't mean anything was achieved. This does not mean that Iran is gonna suddenly now start bombing the U.S. They don't have the capacity to bomb the U.S. from a distance, as far as we know. And more importantly, even if they did, it would be a mistake because they would be wiped out by the US. They would not be able to survive a national direct war with the US, plus Israel also attacking them at the same time. Iran is not going to survive that. What they can do is, hack into bank accounts, government websites, the US federal government websites, which would be extremely easy, especially now considering that Trump got rid of tons of people that deal with that. So they could also do that. Can guarantee anything I'm saying now, they already been thinking about doing it if they haven't done it yet. They can maybe do terrorist things more directly with the whole group of people who might be spies, but even then, it's really pushing it. It's very hard to know what Iran will really do without them getting hit much harder by the US. It's a tricky situation. I don't agree with the US what they did, causing a potential whole war to have forced the US military to now do something, but it's Trump. He does things without thinking. Congress didn't even know, besides maybe the Republicans in Congress. The Democrats had no clue, really, for the most part, what was happening until the day of. Most likely, Trump did talk to the Republicans in Congress, and they probably agree, you know, um informally, so he could do whatever he wants to do without getting in trouble. But we'll see what will happen in the next few weeks or months. What Iran may or may not do in the U.S. They might just target the U.S. military bases around them, but you don't know. We have to wait and see. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section regarding the whole situation with U.S., Israel, and Iran, and if you think Iran would do anything to the U.S. directly or more indirectly. If you agree with the lab leaks, the BS that Trump has talked about COVID-19, trying to put all the blame in just China and China this and China that. If you agree with the what sounds very likely conspiracy theories throughout the whole White House website, even though it's .gov, can't really trust the federal government on those things anymore, unfortunately. And the whole Harvard situation with Trump, if that was expected or not from you guys, it was expected from me. And of course, probably the most obvious, the whole impeachment article is being completely dropped in Congress. And sadly, a lot of Democrats agreeing with that. But let me know what you think about these Democrats, and if you think you're gonna finally vote in the primary election, if you're having that next year, if you're planning to get rid of these status quo Democrats. If you like the video, like and subscribe. Watch this on TikTok, follow us on TikTok. And again, I got the Patreon, $1 per month just to please support us. $3 a month to be for the exclusive content that I'm working on, posting there only. Specifically, though, it would not be posted on YouTube. Obviously, it would be also ad free, and of course, and it's not like I'm adding any ads in my YouTube videos, but I know YouTube does put ads, and I'm making money out of that. I can't completely stop them, but you guys have ad block. You can use that. Don't really care. Uh, just don't let YouTube know that you're using it. All right, guys, have a good day.